I am inevitable. So guys, welcome back to Critic Mishra, and today I'm going to be talking full-on spoilers about the EndGame film. So this is a total spoiler talk, you have been warned, and if you haven't watched the film, please do not continue further. So yes, I was so excited to see it the second time before talking about all the spoilers, because to be honest, it was a lot of fun. I got a lot of more details when watching the second time. So yeah, so the opening scene of the film was pretty obvious to much of the fans because we hadn't seen Hawkeye at all in the Infinity War. So it was nice of the Russo brothers to tell his story, that what was the motive for Hawkeye to be part of the Avengers. And it was really sad to see his family just vanish off after the snap. Let's jump to space, and we see that a good relationship is being built between Tony and Nebula, and it was so good to see Tony so weak and skinny in that scene because he hadn't had proper food or water in 22 days. So that was very nice to see. His recordings were very, very emotional. I mean, it was as if he knew that he was going to die in space, so there was no way back for him. So when he's resting, we just get he just sees a very strong lightning, a shining light, and boopity bappity boo, it's Captain Marvel. So yeah, Captain Marvel rescues Tony and Nebula and brings them back to Earth. So this is where the film really starts to begin in a proper way, where the Avengers are still confused how to find Thanos, and they are still not really sure that how will they face Thanos again, even if they find him. But thanks to Nebula, we get the exact location, and we see Thanos again for the first time, and he looks pretty much more injured because he has used the stones to destroy the stones. And when the Avengers catch him, Thor just in a funny way, in a comedic way, he just says, I went for the head this time. So that scene for me was pretty bleak. I mean, they could have executed it much better, but yeah, so it's safe to say that the Thanos in the current time was killed, so there was no way for him to come back. Cut to 5 years later, every Avenger is still mourning over the deaths. Some of them try to move on, some of them don't. And then comes the real savior. I mean the real savior of the film, Mr. Rat. If that rat in the van didn't turn off the switch by accident, Ant-Man wouldn't have come out of the quantum realm, and we wouldn't have a story to move on. So thank you, Mr. Rat. You have my total respect. Anyway, jokes aside, Ant-Man comes out of the quantum realm. He's still confused as to what's happening on Earth. He sees some missing posters, and he's very scared that he may have lost his daughter. He runs back to his house and finds that Casey is still alive. But I had a real problem with that scene, is that he saw his daughter, his daughter saw his father for the first time in 5 years. They could have expanded more on that scene where Scott would have talked to his daughter how she's feeling, what she's doing, and then why all this happened, where's everybody gone. The scene could have been more emotional. They just kept it at the start, at the entrance of the door, and they just cut it to where Ant-Man just goes to the Avengers headquarters. Captain America and Black Widow are really shocked to see Ant-Man. They wouldn't have thought that Scott Lang would have survived. But anyways, he talks about the quantum realm. He gives them the details, and he tells that how long does it feel and how time travel works in the quantum realm. And he asks for the Avengers' help to study quantum realm and to really navigate them through the quantum realm to go back in time and collect the stones. Enters Professor Hulk. Man, it was so good to see Professor Hulk, man, because it was a moment that I had been really waiting for. And so Bruce Banner somehow convinces Hulk to combine together. So it's like the strength of the Hulk and the brains of Banner. But I still felt a bit disappointed here, that because the writers and the Russo brothers could have expanded on the detail that how both of them came to an understanding, and how Bruce Banner and Hulk combined their powers to become Professor Hulk, But that scene where he's having lunch with the Avengers, it's really funny. I mean, he's become a popular character after 5 years, and the kids really love him, when he says, "Say green," and "Don't let your mom down." Dab. Oh, that dab scene was epic, man. It was really funny. That ends, and Bruce says that he won't be able to help because it's not his field of expertise. Boobity babdi boo. Cut to Mr. Tony Stark, and he's finally living in peace, or as if we think he's living in peace, but seeing him with his daughter is really an emotional scene. I mean, that scene was really written very well. It was shown very well, because he's happy, Pepper Potts is alive, he's with his daughter, but the Avengers come to him and ask him for help, but he's still really scared to mess up with the time, because now he has a family, he's not a loner anymore, and he doesn't want to lose what he has. Anyways, it really hits Tony Stark with the theories that Ant-Man and the other Avengers come up with, and he tries to build a model of a time machine, and voila, it's successful. And he goes to the Avengers headquarters, and he tries to bring the old team back, and this is where the really fun part begins, when the Avengers go to Asgard. I did not expect that scene. The fat Thor, oh my god. And he's playing Fortnite, and he's become like a big bag of drunkard. He doesn't look even a god of thunder, He looks a big bag of, a fat god, not a god of thunder. I mean, Russo's, what have you done with this character? It was funny throughout the film. There's no doubt about that. But somehow he's a god of thunder, man. Taika Waititi gave him a fantastic ending in Thor Ragnarok. You guys and the Russos, you redeemed him Infinity War in such an epic way, and now you just messed him up again in EndGame. Why were you showing him fat? Okay, I understand the point. He lost everything. He didn't have anything left. He lost his brother, he lost his father, he lost his mom, he lost everything, and then in the end he failed. But showing him fat and sad and depressed the whole time, I mean, it wasn't that satisfactory for me. Now comes one of the best scenes in the film for me, where Hawkeye, now Ronin, is fighting the bad guys in Tokyo, and that scene was so well executed that it really blew my mind. I mean, I was stunned to see those action scenes and how ruthless Hawkeye has really become. And it was really good to see Natasha bringing him back, because throughout the Avengers story, the MCU films, we have seen that how Natasha can really be convincing, and it was really good of her to convince Hawkeye to get back to the headquarters of Avengers and help them out. Thor is also somehow convinced to get back to the headquarters. Tony builds the time machine. It's been tested, and now we enter the second act, which is for me one of the most rushed acts. I mean, everything was good. The scenes were so funny. Everything was almost well executed in that act, but somehow I felt that the second act could have been expanded way more, way further. I mean, the Avengers go back into time. We see the New York battle, we see Thor's mom, and then we see Star-Lord again. So they could have expanded well on that, because they had three stones to collect from the New York battle, and not even once, except Captain America, who faced himself from the New York battle. But I still felt that every of the Avengers who went in the New York battle back again, they could have faced one of each other, and then the more problems could have been created to just get back all the stones. So yeah, I mean, this expansion of second act could take a few more hours to talk about it, like how they could have expanded each detail in the second act, but they kind of rushed, in the second act to get back all the stones, so that then Tony could build the gauntlet and just snap everyone and bring them back. But the scenes that they had shown in the second act for this film, I found them really good. Thor meeting with his mom, Tony losing the Tesseract in New York battle, and where did Loki go? Can anyone tell me? Loki took off with the Tesseract and just went away, and no one knows, and the Russos did not expand on that situation, that where did he really go off to. Yes, the idea of going back in time and revisiting the battles that they have already faced is wonderful, but I don't know, man. I still can't just get my mind through it. I mean, this is gonna be a very old reference, but if anyone has seen Lord of the Rings, they will know what I feel about. I mean, you saw how each of the detail. It's just not that Frodo went. He rushed to Mordor as soon as he could and just put the ring into the fire, and then boom, the ring is destroyed. No, they went through each step, and he had so many problems before reaching Mordor, and the condition he was in was really, really bad, So that's how they could have expanded EndGame, EndGame could really have been made into two parts. I'm just talking about that second act. I mean, so many details. We have seen 21 films. They could have expanded on so many details of it. Okay, that Nebula arc in the second act was really good. How the current Nebula had her mind had interfered with the old Nebula, that was really perfect. But Thanos coming in just like that and just understanding the whole thing. I mean, yes, you see, that portion also could have been expanded very well. So yeah, the second act for me was a bit rushed, but whatever they had shown, the Russos, it was shown very well. The emotional connections of Thor meeting his mom, Tony Stark meeting his father before Tony was born. So all of that was very, very good. If I talk about the emotional aspects, but expansion could have been done a little more better. Oh, okay, everyone comes back with all the stones except Natasha, and Hawkeye still feels bad about that. He should have been the one to sacrifice himself, not her. And that moment where they mourn about Natasha, I felt that Hulk could have gotten more angry. I mean, throughout the film, we haven't seen Hulk angry at all. I get it, he's Professor Hulk now, but he still has the qualities of Hulk, so he could have been pissed a lot more times, First of all, we wanted Hulk in Infinity War more, and we got fooled around we got played around with our emotions, and we didn't get Hulk at all except in the opening scene. So when they showed Hulk in this, they could have used him a lot more better. Yes, he's smart now, he has the strength of Hulk, but yes, where's that anger, that puny Hulk anger, we need that. Look, I was a huge fan of the last act. After Hulk snaps the gauntlet, brings everything back to normal. We get the major twist of Thanos entering Earth's atmosphere and blowing up the headquarters of Avengers. That was really all cool to see. The final battle, I saw it the first time, I was blown by it. I saw it the second time, I was again blown by it because it's really huge, it's really freaking humongous. You cannot take your eyes off it, you know. The battle is that good. So hats off to the Russo brothers for showing such a fantastic half an hour or so. But again, I had so many problems in that third act, you know. If you're talking about the spoilers, let's relate this war to the people who have seen such final epic wars in other films such as Lord of the Rings also. You know how Two Towers and Battle and the Return of the King battle was shown in such a classy way. Each of the character was shown in detail, how they're going through the war, what's going through their mind, everything. They could have done that. That's why I've been saying from the start that this could have been a two-part film. The battle was very, very rushed again. Nothing to take away from the direction of the Russo brothers, but like I said, everything was shown brilliantly in the final battle scene. But every character, each detail of the characters in the battle scene could have been expanded. They could have shown more problems in it, that how to fight this big of an army. They could have shown that in much more details. Yes, I'm gonna just repeat my words. They could have gone with more details. Everything was good, but you know, details are that important for me. Cut to the one that point, that indication from Doctor Strange really got me thinking. I think this is the end of Tony Stark, and it was, and that was really, really emotional to see. You know, I did not cry in this scene, but I really got emotional. You know, it gave a really good shock to me. But people beside me and people nearby me, I could hear the tears. I could listen to the tears, you know, that people are crying and everything. I understand, because he's been the part of our cinematic universe since the beginning. He started the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so it's really obvious for people to cry, you know, but I still can't get over that scene. I mean, to lose Tony Stark, and we might not see Tony Stark again in the future. Well, that's uncertain, but I really think it's gonna happen, that we are not gonna see him more. But what he says in the end, I am Iron Man, that was the best finish you could ask in a character, you know, because he started with, in the first Iron Man, I'm Iron Man. So it was a satisfying ending to him. Captain America got the best ending we can possibly ask for, because he went back in time and he got the dance with Peggy that he deserved. And we have seen this dance being teased in so many films, especially in Age of Ultron. So I was hoping that we should have gotten this, we will get this dance somewhere, and we had truly got it. And the things that, and the mourning and the tribute to the Tony Stark scene was really, really emotional. I don't know if many people noticed this, but we saw a kid, a surprisingly special guest kid, standing and being sad about and mourning to Tony Stark. Remember, guys, in Iron Man 3, that's the kid we are talking about. Okay, as I've said before, they could have given a tribute, a more scene to Natasha too, for the contribution she has done for the Avengers team, but they didn't do that. I don't understand why. But overall, a satisfying conclusion to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I hope to see it again very soon. I'm planning to see it again very soon. Hopefully I can, but I'm not sure about it. But it should be watched at least 2 times for me, guys. At least 2 times. So guys, comment down below what you thought about the Endgame film. You can write all the spoilers you want. I don't care, because this is a spoiler talk anyway. And give a thumbs up if you liked my spoiler review. And do not forget to subscribe to my channel to stay updated for all the latest videos. And I'll see you guys very soon. Critic Mishra out. Cha-ching!